This research is about mitigating urban heat island effects by vegetated infrastructure, a case study of Dhaka, Bangladesh. This presentation contains introduction, problem statement, objective significance, research questions and methodology, simulation process, result discussion, and conclusion. Favorable microclimate is highly needed to enjoy the social and economic benefits of outdoor spaces. However, due to the unplanned urban expansion in the developing countries, the amount of surfaces and structures with large heat holding capacity is being increased. And due to that, we can see the air temperature near the built up area is much higher than the rural and the suburban areas, and this impact is called urban heat island effect. This research is done on Bangladesh, which is a country in tropic, and Dhaka is the city of Bangladesh, which is actually observing the strong urban heat island effect in the city. And if we observe the maximum and the minimum air temperature over the last 60 years, these are showing upward trends. So this is the current scenario of the city where we have lost most of the trees and green surfaces, and that's why the situation is getting worse day by day. So the problem statement is over the last 100 years, Dhaka has observed average air temperature increase, and in the next 50 years, it is expected to increase by 1.5 to 2 degree, and then we will lose all the urban activities that we have now. So it is highly needed to mitigate the impact to revive the urban spaces. And the research question is how the vegetated infrastructure can aid to mitigate the urban heat island effect and which type of intervention will be the most effective. One, and the research method, we have used the NVMath software to see the impact of the interventions. So for this research, a small portion of the Purvachal, which is one of the biggest planned residential area of Bangladesh, of Dhaka, has been selected. And the impact on air temperature and relative humidity is observed through Leonardo of NVMet. So the intervention one is having plants at street level, intervention two, having green roofs in all the buildings, and intervention three, at least having one green facade in every building. And by the simulation for the month of July, we can see uh, if we compare it with the base case, green intervention is having positive impact in terms of reducing the air temperature from 12 and up to 4 a.m. And at 2, both the planned intervention 1 and the intervention 2 are having excellent result. And for 4 p.m., green roof is most effective, and at 12 and 2 a.m., the plants at road level is working the best. So this is a very interesting finding of the research that if we compare with without the vegetation and with vegetation from 2 to 4, we are having much lower air temperature, so which is effective to reduce the air temperature. And the impact is observed in both reducing the minimum air temperature and maximum air temperature. And this is the pattern, how it changes over the day with the intervention. And from here, we can see the impact on the maximum air temperature, which is by dotted line, is much higher than the minimum air temperature. And it can reduce up to 0.6 degree to 0.87 degree, which is a great contribution towards reducing the urban heat island effect. And the similar thing is done for relative humidity. And this is the pattern, how the intervention changes the relative humidity. And here we can see from 2 p.m. to 12 a.m., the relative humidity is increased, and rest of the time, the relative humidity is decreased. And this is the impact in the relative humidity, where we can see it has much impact on the minimum air temperature, minimum relative humidity, than the maximum relative humidity, which is shown with the solid lines. So we can say the evapotranspiration is having an excellent effect in reducing the urban heat island effect. And right now, Dhaka has much lower green spaces. So it is high time so we can create the green database. And as the next step of the research, we can create probable guideline to reform the design concept of Purvachal. So in conclusion, we can say green vegetated infrastructure are highly effective to mitigate the urban heat island effect, and cooling down the city with vegetated infrastructure is a great point to start with. So thank you.